to. So there were all kinds of facts in the background here that really made this entire thing look like exactly what it was, and that is a fraud on the court.
Yeah, remarkable. And Elliot Williams, you pointed out this piece of what the judge had to say, and it was aimed squarely at the acting attorney general.
Yeah.
Acting Attorney General Blanche's apparent capacity to speak for both plaintiffs and defendants, sign a settlement document on behalf of all parties, and then repudiate part of that agreement demonstrates that there was actually only one party whose interests were being represented throughout this case, which is a fundamental perversion of how the system is supposed to work. Now,
Yeah, let me tell you a secret. Judges love making things go away without actually having to address the underlying thing. If you notice, this really wasn't a suit about the propriety of the fund. It really was about, or at least this dismissal was, do you have two parties here? And you can't sue yourself and then settle against yourself. And they walk through a few things. Number one, there's a point early in some litigation where who's the victim? She asks Alina Habba, Trump's attorney, who's the victim here? And she says, well, it's Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been victimized here. And then the judge walks through all of the places in which it's clear that Donald Trump oversees the other party, which is the Treasury Department. He is Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary's boss. For all of those reasons, there just simply was not an actual lawsuit. It just didn't, it was like a legal fiction. And so it's sort of in the weeds and not the sexy stuff that we talk about, whether it's Trump or politics, but sometimes you just don't get a lawsuit.
But listen, Todd Blanche is about to face Congress, right? And in a hearing, a confirmation hearing, it's of course going to look different with the passing of Lindsey Graham. But I mean, big picture, Congresswoman, this is one of many examples where the president has tried to use our system to benefit himself in ways that then the legal system has had to scramble to catch up to.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I think, the point here. It's not just about the IRS. It's not just about this one case. It's the pattern that we've seen here, and it's that the executive branch, the president, is trying to use the power of his office to actually negotiate deals to benefit himself. And one of the things that the judge says in this case, which I think is very important to keep in mind, is that the court has to be bound by the Constitution. Congress is bound by the Constitution, the same as the executive. You can't have a president abuse the power of his office to try and benefit that office for himself. And the judge says that as well. And so Todd Blanche is going to be facing Congress members, senators that are going to be questioning whether he's working for the American people or is he working for one person in the executive branch, President Donald Trump. And that's not the way that these agencies should function. They should be independent, working for the American people, not for the president.
David, how would you think about this?
Yeah, look, I think that what happened is I'm not privy to any of this insider, but I think, they came up with this fund idea, then they backed themselves into it, right? They said, okay, we want to have this fund. How do we get there, right? And they created this legal fiction, as Elliot points out, right? That it can't even really exist in a court of law, and so they tried to make that happen, and clearly it's not going to happen. And then that, the fund itself became this, the president is very smart on these 80-20 issues. The fund, it became a 20-80 issue, right? It really backfired, and the administration had to walk away from it quietly. But the interesting part here is the underlying no going after the family, et cetera, on future tax evasion. That's the part that still is yet to be determined. The $1.8 billion, maybe that was like, look at the shiny spoon, and the real prize was like no future liability. Like, we're not going to know, and this doesn't answer that. So a lot of